Big transfer updates tonight, everybody, on Forever United TV. Manchester United have got a serious chance of signing Matheus Cunha, as he has given United the green light. Not even bothered about European football. Going to go into all the details on that report tonight. Victor Osimhen is a target behind Liam Delap, because Liam Delap apparently is United's number one striker target from multiple sources this afternoon. We're going to talk about the details of that as well. Andre Onana opening up about Manchester United against Lyon. Should he have? Jonah in it, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Antony tug of war, and what Real Betis are going to do to keep hold of him. Looking good for United again after another great performance from him against Barcelona of all teams this weekend for Real Betis. What Manchester United had to do for one of their young stars, and how they did what they did, and why they did what they did to keep him at Manchester United and not lose him, and all of your thoughts, comments and interactions amongst the live show. And yeah, I want you piling in again, as always, onto the topics tonight. We're going to start with Matheus Cunha and the possibility of Manchester United signing him. There is a lot of information on this one right now. We have got a lot to get through tonight, so let's crack on with everything that's happening, and we'll come to the comment section as we go. You can see coming across at the bottom of your screen there, the update on Matheus Cunha and everything that's happening right now with him and this deal is quite significant, because there has been a few snippets come out today. Ben Jacobs has been talking mainly from TalkSport on this, or talking to TalkSport. So we'll just start with the first bit, which come from Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook from TalkSport, and them speaking. Manchester United are interested in signing Matheus Cunha. He has a release clause of 62.5 million, which kicks in this summer. Cunha's agent will fly to England soon to face-to-face talks with potential suitors, and has already made some initial contacts with Manchester United. Interesting coming out there from Ben Jacobs. He also goes on to say Nottingham Forest have a firm interest in Matheus Cunha, but it's understood from those close to the player that he prefers to join a Big Six club, even if Forest qualify for the Champions League. I didn't think the Big Six existed anymore. On paper, Manchester United's team is shocking. We're 13th in the league, and we're nowhere near that top six. I just want to give Forest their flowers, and that sounds weird, doesn't it? Forest their flowers, but and say, look, no disrespect to Forest, I like that club. I love the City Ground. I think it's a great Premier League club, and they belong where they belong. And it's good to see them competing again. But here it is. This is what we've always thought, and this is the question that's going to be asked many times this summer. Have United still got it? Have United still got that pull, even without Champions League or European football of any sorts going into the summer? This is where it's going to be tested. Now, Matheus Cunha, we know, is a United fan. We know, and everybody has been rerunning that video from 2024 on social media today about Matheus Cunha talking about possibly being linked with Manchester United back then. Obviously, he didn't, but obviously now at Wolves. And that's where he went from that move. But talking there, how privileged it is to be linked with a move to Manchester United. So there is a connection there with Cunha and Manchester United. And there is I think definitely an attraction for Cunha for Manchester United. The difference, the problem that I see, because first of all, I think we're all quite on board with Matheus Cunha coming to Manchester United. I think he is an upgrade, a big upgrade, and is Premier League proven, which is absolutely massive. But bang, there goes a big chunk of your budget. And what else are you going to do? Is Cunha going to be seen as a 10/8? And you know what I mean by that as well. Versatility, Ruben Amorim, and all of that. But are we going to go for the cheaper option up front alongside that? And could Cunha also fill in as a 9 and a 10? You see where I'm going with this? Cunha does tick quite a few boxes. Characteristics, temperament. We all know what he was like this season. We've seen the pictures. We've seen the outrage moments after games. We've seen what he's done. And obviously the issues that the coaches had with him at Wolves as well in not saying he's getting enough from him. Now, we know that Ruben wants work rate. We know that Ruben Amorim wants a lot more from his players. I'm not saying Matheus Cunha isn't going to give him that. But, again, there's them characteristics. Is that the only red flag in this? But you've got to ask the question, are Manchester United actually even in for Matheus Cunha? That's what you've got to ask yourself, because we don't know. He's a name that's been linked, and obviously his agent's going to speak to United. United will talk to everyone. So when you hear a story about Manchester United talking to a player, or United actually entertaining bids for their own players, they listen to everything and talk to everyone. Just because them talks happen doesn't mean that they are going to be signed by United, or United sell to the club that are interested in their player, for instance. It's just what happens in the transfer window, and there's no way of knowing whether or not Cunha is on Manchester United's list. We can only go off the reports. Now, a lot of reports have said that United are interested in Matheus Cunha, and they are looking into a possible move this summer. Now, this deal is going to take a big bid, a record bid, in fact, from Ineos so far for a player. 63 million, near enough. I don't think Wolves are in any position or in any rush with Cunha signing that new deal in January to even think about giving anybody any concession and dropping the price at all. It's not going to happen, and anyone who does want Cunha is going to get him for 63 million. That's it. It's a simple transaction as you're ever going to get. Is anybody valuing Matheus Cunha at 63 million? That's the only question that will be brought up in any transfer negotiations going into this summer. He is a quality player. He is definitely Premier League proven. He adds depth to your squad in, like I just said there, being able to play in multiple positions. And that, I think, is key. And we've seen him scoring centre-forward goals. We've seen him cutting in from the wing. We've seen him assisting goals. He's got a great corner on him, which is good, obviously, as well. In fact, he scores straight from a bleeding corner against us. But, yeah, he is one of them players that you look at and go, yeah, I'd take him. I would 100% take him. I would love him in a United shirt. And knowing that he's an actual United fan and has got that love for Manchester United, again, it ticks, except Ruben Amorim. Now, we don't know. Now, Ruben, behind the scenes, could be saying, yes, perfect player. But is there an issue there? Have we got an attitude problem in this player? That's what I think. And I'm not just talking about Cunha. You could bring this up about Osimhen as well. Some of the stories that have been going around about Osimhen as well in the past. This is, I think, every player's got his history. There are some that are obviously squeaky clean and they're perfect players. But that is few and far between. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet from football clubs from before. They've had fallouts. They've had misdemeanours. There's been all sorts going on. I mean, you cannot get through football without having some form of a fallout. So it depends how far you want to look into it. And obviously, he may have a fantastic relationship with Ruben Amorim. And that's what he'll be looking at. And the conversations and the phone calls will be going on, and obviously they'll make sure that everything fits the bill for Manchester United and Ruben Amorim more in particular, and then we'll go on from there. But Matheus Cunha is a target, and now we're finding out tonight that Cunha is not bothered about European football, and he's happy to move to Manchester United, or a big six club, as he says. He won't just say Man United, because that will just obviously give everything away. But this is a player that's been very open and easy to talk on international duty. Do you reckon the club's looking at that? Do you reckon they're looking at that as like, he's someone who's very outspoken? Do we need another player like that? A high-profile, outspoken player like Matheus Cunha? I don't know. I don't know is the answer, obviously. But I'm sure they would have had the conversations and obviously be looking into it a bit deeper. But him not wanting to go to Nottingham Forest and prefer to come to Manchester United is a massive plus, no matter what you look at within this deal from any angle at all. That there is key for Manchester United. Not bothered about European football. That is a rarity. And a player of that quality, is 63 million too much? That's the question I think we need to be answering right now. So, do you know what? I'm going to come to the live chat on this one now and see what you all think about this. 63 million for Matheus Cunha. Is that a good deal? Talk to me, everybody. Now, we have got a lot of reports going around, and we've got a lot to get through on tonight's show as well. But I want to get, first of all, do we feel like Matheus Cunha is worth that type of money? That's what I'm trying to gauge from the live chat today. 20 million plus Joe Hugel, Dango and Rasmus, Spirit of Lakota. Mateta, a better option in my opinion. No, this will wind a lot of people up, sorry. Okay, everyone's got their opinions. United are getting reported for all the reports that they have reported an interest in certain players. And Spirit says, reports Cole Palmer has not settled in London. A boyhood United fan worth considering as a marquee signing this summer. He'd take him in a heartbeat. But again, you're really clutching at straws if you think that we can get him away from Chelsea right now on that deal. But I would take him. You're right, mate. 100%. He won't be bothered as long as 200k a week is offered to him. He's not getting that money. How much is Cunha worth, and how much wages is he worth? He's not on massive money at Wolves, obviously, but is he worth it at Manchester United? Adam, can United actually afford to buy him? We can. Laurie Whitwell has actually come out and said United can afford to buy Victor Osimhen. So we can afford to buy Osimhen, we can afford to buy Cunha. But that is one big player bought, and then it's what happens after that. What if we are not in for Matheus Cunha? What if that isn't a top target for Manchester United? I was told tonight that conversations have been going on over the last 2 weeks, big conversations with Southampton for Tyler Dibbling. And the bid, if the price is right, Manchester United would rather buy Tyler Dibbling than Matheus Cunha. It's just what I'm being told tonight as well on this. But that is going to go to and from all summer long. And there are going to be many scenarios like this about us talking about certain players as we go through this transfer window. But yes, we all know who United are in for. It just depends who Manchester United go all in for. Because when you look at Cunha and the boxes that he ticks, he's a brilliant player. Absolutely fantastic. I actually thought that within the live chat right now, there might be a little bit more encouragement to sign Cunha, but there is a little bit of a standoff on it from what I'm watching right now, and it all comes down to what they think and what people are thinking he is going to be worth in terms of what we're going to pay and how much we're going to be paying him a week. 63 million, I don't know. Good, question mark, maybe for United. Again, it's a weird one. I think he is worth it. However, the statistical has the most time walked in the Premier League per 90. If we were mad about Rashi's work rate, how will this work? Again, the characteristics, the minor details, everything that needs to be looked into right now that United have to be looking into, I'm sure they are looking into, is there for everybody to see already. This is great, and he's open to a move. I think he would walk to Manchester United if we paid the fee. I don't think he'd go anywhere else. I think he would want to come to United. But do Manchester United want Matheus Cunha? That is the question. Because the news carries on from there. And the bigger news, I think, today, in fact, and what's happening right now from the headlines today, is all circulating around. And get this is going to rile people right up right now. So just get yourself strapped in for this one. Manchester United will rival Chelsea in the race to sign Liam Delap this summer after identifying him ahead of Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko and Victor Osimhen as a solution to their goal-scoring problems. Mic drop. I'll say that again. After identifying him ahead of Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko and Victor Osimhen this summer. That is a big, big statement. That's come from Mark Ogden, chief writer at ESPN. And that is a big one today. I'm looking at that and going, Gyökeres, Sesko, Osimhen. And Manchester United see him as a solution ahead of them three strikers. Like I said before at the top of the show, Liam Delap, Manchester United's top targets. We are in for Osimhen behind Delap. Ooh, now, I don't know if Mark is trying to rile people here with this one. He's trying to get people's noses up. But that, when I seen that, I was like, that's not going to go down well. That really isn't. If Liam Delap joins Manchester United this summer, how many goals do you think he would score? That's what people have been asking today. And it's like, what? But, right, moving on to this whole scenario right now with everything that's going on with Liam Delap. There is more to it, and there is a bit more to the story, actually. So we'll get into this now. But first of all, that first one, wow, I know. But this is the next interesting bit, and this is the tweet at the bottom of your screen as well. Liam Delap is on Manchester United's list for the summer. Delap was targeted by Ruben Amorim last summer for Sporting. So Ruben likes him. Ruben has already tried to buy him, and now he's available this summer. You can see where I'm going. You can see where I'm going with this one. Whichever statement you read out of this, it's all pointing in one direction again. And I'm not talking about the group either. But where are we at right now with this? How do you read it? Because United are looking at Osimhen. The deal is there for Osimhen. And this is something else from Nate Salt from the Daily Mail as well. And I think Chris Wheeler has reported on this one. I'll just read the Chris Wheeler one out first of all. And this has just come in over the last hour as well. And this is where the whole transfer situation goes completely up in the air. Victor Osimhen is one of the alternative targets to Liam Delap. And United could sell Alejandro Garnacho to Napoli as part of the deal to sign the Nigerian striker from the Italians. That's from Chris Wheeler. Now, Nate Salt, who also works for the Daily Mail, has said, internally at Manchester United, there is a feeling that moving on from Alejandro Garnacho could come back to bite them, given his obvious potential. Like, this is the thing. It's like, who at United feels like this is going to come back to bite them? The potential of a player that hasn't really done much this season for Ruben Amorim. Look, what potential are we talking about here? We've seen what he can do, but he's a brilliant player on his day, Garnacho. But potential under Ruben Amorim, we've not really seen it under Ruben Amorim. And we're trying to back this manager. The potential was there before. And players work for other coaches, they do. Like Antonio Conte doesn't want Osimhen, but we should get Osimhen. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? It's like certain players just don't work with certain coaches. Ruben Amorim has scouted Liam Delap already. He knows all about him. He wanted him. He was the player that he was looking at last summer as well to come in and take him to Sporting. There is something about Liam Delap that keeps on coming up in every conversation. No matter how many more videos I do or how much news comes about Victor Osimhen, Liam Delap just seems to be jumping ahead of him every single time in the speculation columns right now and all of the reports going around. This has been run by about 5 journalists today that Liam Delap is United's top target. And there's some big journalists in this as well. And we know The Athletic have run with Liam Delap to Manchester United. We know all the publications have. ESPN are running it today. The Daily Mail are running it today as well. And it all comes down to the main headline being that Manchester United see Liam Delap ahead of both Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, and indeed Benjamin Sesko as well from RB Leipzig. That is staggering. That is a big commitment from Manchester United to go in 40 million for Delap. Now, how I seen it with the Cunha situation, and again, this right now proves, I think, that United are not bothered about the age factor in these players. We're all talking about what United need. We're all talking about Manchester United's situation, needing experience and getting the right players to help these younger players out. Even Rio Ferdinand on his podcast today was shouting down the camera to Victor Osimhen to come and help these young strikers at Manchester United. You've all seen it. I'm sure you've seen the clip doing the rounds. He is calling it. The other pundits are calling it. The fans are calling it. But United see it completely different. Ruben Amorim wants big players. ESPN are running the story again. Alongside this, in the same article that Mark Ogden from ESPN ran today, despite PSR financial restraints, Ruben Amorim will be backed this summer by Manchester United. They will do whatever necessary to give him the tools that he needs. They are 100% behind him. So this, when we lead into the Garnacho with the Osimhen, the Delap, the talks that I heard about and was told about regarding Tyler Dibbling, still, they're not giving up. And now the talks have escalated because it's officially been announced yesterday. Well, not announced, but it was there yesterday. Tottenham beating Southampton, confirming they're down. Manager's gone. He's the one who's been bigging him up, telling him he needed to stay. He's gone now. He's triggered his release clause after being relegated. And now the conversation apparently has gone into overdrive because he is now a championship player. And that price and that valuation would have come down on Tyler Dibbling. And it's up to Southampton how they approach this right now, because I don't think Tyler Dibbling is going to sign a new contract. That's what I've been told anyway. And United with Wilcox is pushing for Delap and Dibbling. They're the two players that Manchester United are really, really interested in this summer. Just from what's been read and what I've listened to today and what I've been told, they're the top 2 targets. I want to come to the comment section on this. Please don't have a meltdown on me. I'm just reading the news. And I'm just giving you all of the information as to what is happening right now. Thank you for all the likes, everybody, as well. Love that. Keep them coming in. Let's get a few comments in here as well, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We could even go for Adamola Luckman or Shirky. It says, Ollie, look, there's plenty of options there for United, but they're looking close to home, it seems. They have their own plan, and it's actually commendable that United have got their plan in place, and everything is obviously on track as far as they see United, and they're all on the same page, like that same vision, like they all talk about. They've all got the same ideas, and they all want to move in the same direction. Great. But we all know what we're watching, and we all know where we're struggling, and I don't think there's any United fan that's convinced that a Tyler Diblin signing and a Liam Delap signing is going to give United what they need. Now, what about a Matheus Cunha and a Liam Delap? Because Cunha can play at 9 as well. But that is about, that's 100 million spent on 2 forwards. So you've got an adaptable 10 and 9 and a 9. Along with Mount, Ahmad, possibly keeping Garnacho, Kobe Mainu. You've got other players coming up from Manchester United Academy as well that could feature. All of this, when you've got the other players, the overseas players that are not in the Premier League, that are not costing a fortune, like a Trincao, for instance, or a Shirky, are all cheaper players. But United seem to be going down the road of the British player right now, it would seem. And obviously Cunha isn't, but again, Premier League based as well, you could say, what they actually know. And I don't know, have we just watched enough? Has Ruben watched enough of these players failing and players that have come in and struggled to adapt to the Premier League? I look at the players that we brought in that have got 0 Premier League experience, really, this summer, that have adapted quite well to it and done quite well individually. But I don't know. I don't know if we're looking at Ruben's system, whether we're looking at players that are actually proven in the Premier League and needing that experience in the Premier League, and that's like the be-all and end-all for the transfer window. I got no idea which way they're approaching this right now, but it is their plan, and they seem to know exactly what they're doing. Why buy Diblin if we can get Osimhen? Different players, different position, mate, that's why. Mark Ogden is talking crap, says Block. Extremely suspicious publications news. Garnacho out, Cunha in, says Luke. We won't spend 63 million on a player. Don't know, mate. You don't know. Never say never. If it's the right player, they will. And I think they've already said that. Delap incoming better than nothing, says Triple M. I think perfect transfer window would be Delap, Cunha, Shirky, and a box-to-box midfielder, says Ollie. A lot of people going down the road of Cunha and Delap actually being a decent transfer setup for United. That's going to cost us a massive amount of money, though. That's 100 million on 2 players. And they have to be bang on the money. Like, we know that they are Premier League proven. And between them, they've got, they're 20-plus goals this season in the Premier League between Cunha and Delap. And they're both in a relegation fight, or have been in a relegation fight. They don't belong at the clubs that they're at. I think we can safely say that, can't we? And I do believe that they will make bigger moves this summer, both of them. It just depends. Is Manchester United the destination for either one of these players? I don't think they're going to be put off by going to United. I think they would both go to United personally. But we have also heard that Delap wanted European football. So, again, like Mark Ogden there, just covering himself a little bit by saying that they are going to rival Chelsea for the signing of Liam Delap. I could see Delap going to Chelsea. I could see that move happening. And I think, again, Chelsea trying to wrap up another young English player as well and get them onto a long contract. I just feel like that's Chelsea's model and it suits them. It might suit United. I don't know, because it's Ruben Amorim. And we haven't really seen a transfer window with him. I think we know what's coming for everyone else this summer, but United need a lot more. I think we need a lot more than everybody else this transfer window. But again, like where I'm actually confident that we've got that lure and that power still, even without European football, to even attract the likes of Matheus Cunha. And it's like Kaz said to me before, it's like, oh, is that where we're at right now? We're actually happy that we've got a player there that would rather come to United than Nottingham Forest. And I said that that's actually a good thing, because Forest are in the Champions League, and where we're seeing all of these teams surpass us and run by us in the Premier League, we still have that Manchester United factor that holds us up a little bit and gives us a chance in the transfer window. My God, I know we're clutching at straws right now, but you have to look at some of this and say that it is better. But the craziest statement out of all of that, and it has to be the one from Mark Ogden, is that Manchester United see Liam Delap as the answer to their goal-scoring problem ahead of Benjamin Sesko, Victor Gyökeres and Victor Osimhen. That's got to be bullshit, surely. They cannot really say that Liam Delap is better than them three strikers, or any better than them three strikers. Yes, he will be the cheapest out of all of them strikers, and that's the only reason I think you could actually say you are going for Liam Delap, because he's got more Premier League experience than them players, all put together, in fact, and that usually is a safe bet. He's younger, apart from Benjamin Sesko, obviously, and he's cheaper. That's got to be it. That's the only reason you would go for Delap, because you haven't got the money, surely. Otherwise, you'd go for the better player. I've said this all along. We have got plenty of young strikers at United that could come through and learn under some experienced striker like Osimhen. And we don't need to worry about the future too much. We've got good players there. But United seem to have this vision in their heads where it has to be a certain player. He has to fit within a certain profile. And it does look like the younger player is the preferred model for Manchester United right now. It does. It's a strange situation, and how Manchester United are looking at it. It really is. They're all full of shit, because no one knows till we're out of the Champions League. I don't think Manchester United's window is based solely on the Champions League, mate. Just hearing right now where Cunha would come to Manchester United, Osimhen would come to Manchester United without European football. Wages may play a part in that as well. I think we need to remember that. Manchester United Realist TV. Adam, mate, since when do we take Ogden serious? Has he ever got anything correct? He has got quite a lot correct, actually. And he does do some good journalistic work. Transfer speculation is a weird one. It's a strange one. You just look at what they know from what's happened before, and then try and credit them with whatever you want to credit them with. I feel, because they do know people in and amongst Manchester United. I know that just from speaking to these journalists personally, but again, when it comes to the transfers and it comes to the yes, we can definitely say that is real. You all know what journalists are the ones that pop up into mind with that. I'm sorry, but aren't Chelsea getting done for financial fair play, says Red Baron. Probably not. It looks like they're getting a slap on the wrist, mate, I'm afraid. Maybe United buy someone unknown, a gem. I think there is a couple of them in the offings as well, Red Baron. Thank you for both of them super chats, mate. Please keep the likes coming in, everybody, as well. Creeping up to that 150 mark. Keep them coming up. Let's get up there with every other channel that gets all these likes as well. I don't know what's going on, but yes, I don't think anyone's in a good mood amongst the United fan base at the moment. Honestly, coming out of Old Trafford yesterday, you could feel it in the air. It's just like, oh God, like it just doesn't. It's not a happy place. It isn't a happy place, but we cheer ourselves up on the shows, don't we? We try to look past all of the crap and all of the doom and gloom and look ahead to the future. The future is the summer and the transfer window, and Manchester United are in a pretty good position when it comes to players leaving. Everyone's seen the highlights of Antony's nutmeg on Lewandowski. That was it. But Betis with Antony are a real force. Creditable draw against Barcelona in that game. And I've got a real chance, slight outside chance. They're going to get European football, it looks. They're in too good a form right now. And on the cusp of cementing a Europa League place right now, Betis with Antony, who has propelled them up that table, along with everybody else in the team, of course. But Antony's had a massive impact. And the vice president has come out of Real Betis over today, saying they will do everything they possibly can to keep Antony at Real Betis. Now, Real Betis qualifying in European position helps out in this deal massively, but from what I know and what's been said, they're going to do everything they possibly can. Doesn't necessarily mean they are going to buy Antony. It means that they want to try and push United for another loan, because Antony has got 2 more years left on his contract, and that's at the end of this season, and there is still a chance that he could be loaned out again, and that's not what United need. We need money in the bank. The problem we've got is Antony, even if we sell him for 40 million, doesn't give United a lot of money, and we covered that yesterday. So don't turn away the thought of Manchester United actually loaning Antony back out. They may see that as an opportunity to say to Real Betis, look, there you have him on loan, full wages paid, with loan fee, bonuses for certain achievements within that season, and an obligation to buy him at this price if you want to loan him again. Go and save your money to buy him on a permanent deal. United may take advantage of that, and they could always throw in that obligation for a really good price, because Antony at the end of next season would give United a lot more profit if you were selling him for, say, 40 million. Now, if United do negotiate that in, yes, it's a player that's still at United officially, but we're not paying his wages, and we're saving, 10 to 30 million quid a year on his wage for next season. We got the loan fee, so there's a little bit of money. And all of this, not forgetting that Antony, if we sold him for 40, gets us, maybe just under, I think it's just under 10 million in profit for PSR. Something like that. Not exact, and don't quote me on it, please, but it's around about that mark from what I can remember. United are not in a good position still. They're in a good position because Antony's doing well. I do believe that United would be open to Antony going back out on loan, because they know in the long run, it's not costing them anything. They're saving his wages. They'll get a loan fee for him. There'll be bonuses added into his season, of course, and there's an obligation at the end of it. I think that's the only way United would loan him out, but I'm not saying that the loan is definitely off the table, because I don't think it is. I think it is a realistic option for Manchester United that Antony could go back out on loan again. I really do. Let's get some more comments in on this one. We have Wayne Finnegan, who has just renewed his membership. Off topic, Manchester is effing red. It's not off topic, mate. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's always been red. Delap, disappointing. Cunha, conjective. Osimhen on your bike. That's my prediction. I had a few beers today. You can have a few beers, mate, especially after what we watched yesterday. I think a few of us need a few bleeding beers, don't we? Good God, that was a horrendous. But still, every single transfer rumour or anything that's coming out or is actually going to be happening in the summer is still not going to convince every single Manchester United fan. I guarantee it. There'll be someone moaning about something that United do in the summer. You're not going to please everybody. We know this. And everyone's got other opinions. Some people would like the fact that Liam Delap's coming to Manchester United, or he's reportedly coming to Manchester United. A lot of people think that he is a good striker. A lot of people don't. And they see the fact that he is basically a championship striker now, because he will get relegated. And Manchester United are going to pay 40 million for someone, in their eyes, who is unproven. But I think the big points that we made earlier on are like multiple reports coming out that he is a top target. And Ruben Amorim, according to a Portuguese journalist that you can see at the bottom of your screen there. I'll just bring that up actually so I can tell you who that actually is. Sabosa Pinto, apparently, a Portuguese journalist, has said that Delap was on Ruben's radar last season. And Sebastião Sousa Pinto, is the journalist. I just didn't read his whole name there. I was going off his X tag there. But apparently he has said that Ruben was very, very interested in Liam Delap last summer. I think that could be key. I think that could be key in this whole situation right now with transfers and the Liam Delap one in particular. Anything that Ruben knows already and likes, then I think United are going to be going all out for to try and give him what he wants. They have thrown him under the bus, and if Ruben says he wants this player, he fits the profile, I think they would forget about the other players like Osimhen, like Gyökeres, and take Delap. I think Ruben looks at players as well, and he thinks he can improve players and he can get more out of players. I think that is something that Ruben Amorim does actually look into. I'd be demanding Isaac if we didn't have a squad to rebuild, but unfortunately a striker is not the only position we need to strengthen this window, so maybe Delap is the most realistic at this stage. I think that's sensible talk there, mate. I think that is. Genghis Khan says Red Baron Antony is still falling over a lot and loses possession. It's just he got a couple of goals and assists. No way they purchased Antony. He's shite. He's doing well over there, and he has impacted the Real Betis squad and fans as well. So I think it's an overall impact of what he's made. You can talk about the certain things he does in games, but he has fitted in well there. The players love him, the fans love him, and that's a big thing. And the vice chairman, I think it was, has come out and said that they are going to do whatever they can to keep Antony. That's good. That's good. And it's what we need to hear, because we need him to be out of our club, because we know he isn't going to fit in for Ruben Amorim. He's made that clear. But don't count out the fact that he may be going back out on loan again. That could be a big reality for us to take in this summer as well. And actually, just tell me in the chat, and obviously get your comments in below. I want to know about Cunha, I want to know about Delap, and I want to know about Antony. They're the important ones right now. And of course, please react to the statement coming out that Manchester United see Liam Delap ahead of both Osimhen and Gyökeres, and indeed Benjamin Sesko as well, as the issue to their goal-scoring problems. That's a bit of a far out there comment, that one. Right now, until we are guaranteed Champions League, Delap is the best we can do. Osimhen/Gyökeres, we have no chance without Europe, with all the other big sides that need strikers. I don't necessarily agree. Gyökeres, yes, Carl, but not Osimhen. I think United can still get Victor Osimhen, even without European football. I really do. But look, time will tell. I do believe that Delap is right up there for Manchester United. It just keeps gathering momentum. It does. And the talks about Dibbling and what that could bring for Manchester United going into the summer as well, now that Southampton are relegated. As soon as Ipswich are confirmed to be relegated as well, I think the same thing will start to ramp up even more. It just depends if United can compete against Chelsea. I mean, what United could offer Delap is guaranteed first-team action. I don't think Chelsea could. And maybe that's something that United feel like they've got. Maybe this is where United feel they need to start their rebuild from. Not go right in at the top level and get the best of the best. Get someone that is going to help be able to progress Manchester United going forward. Look, I think Delap will score goals for United. I really do. I think Osimhen will score more. That's just the way it is. I think he will. And Osimhen is a different level of player. And he's played at a higher level. That's the difference as well. The expectations on Delap, he's never felt any. It was a free hit this season for Ipswich, and nobody was expecting him to do anything. So Delap's come in, unknown, bang, off from Manchester City. By the way, City have got that sell-on clause for Liam Delap as well. So Ipswich have put that price at that. They're not going to make as much as what that price says, Ipswich. So they're probably going to try and get as much as possible as you would in that situation. But just to go back to Delap, my biggest concern with him is the Premier League knows him now, and he will be figured out next season. Do we want him to be figured out in a season when he's just joining Manchester United, when he is going to be pinned up as the man that's going to, like that report says, be the answer to Manchester United's goal drought? I wouldn't want to be putting that on a 22-year-old. We've been here before, and we know what happens at this football club. That is my only concern with this. And you all know what I'm talking about. Second season syndrome will kick in, but that will be first season syndrome for United, and it will make it look like it was a bad sale if it goes wrong for Delap. I think he's got a good character. I think he's hard. I think he's robust. I think he's reasonably quick. He's good at carrying the ball. He's direct, and he's got an eye for goal. He's scored one in each of his last 2 games in the Premier League since we've started talking about him. And obviously, I think with Ruben knowing what his characteristics are, what sort of player he actually is, and how he plays, there's a reason why he was looking at him while he was at Sporting. And that's probably why he's right up there on Manchester United's list as well. Because like Ruben has said, we are trying to make sure we make the right decisions and we need big players. But Ruben has also alluded to the fact that big players don't necessarily mean big names to him. That's what we're up with right now. Nuke in the chat says, Jonathan David looks more and more sensible, and not free but manageable, and not better anywhere else for cheaper. No, I started late. I remember Amorim having love eyes on Cunha after the game, so I think it's a yes. Hopefully, Justin. I think he can get a tune out of him. Cunha, Delap, David are free. I want, though, because I see the chemistry potential long-term, and Delap will press, etc. Perfect Ruben striker. Delap will press. He will. Not sure about Cunha and what he brings. Cunha is a in-possession player, not an out-of-possession player. I mean, I have seen him hit a few players and go in and tackle players before, but I think you've got a bit more mobility and energy in Delap to do that sort of work for you. So we'll see. We'll see how the dynamic works when them players come in. Other news as well. I'm going to come through some more comments as we go on about all of the subjects, but wanted to get through everything that I wanted to talk about in the show, which was an interesting one. This was brought out by Samuel Luckhurst earlier on from the MEN. Sources say Manchester United have fast-tracked JJ Gabriel into the under-18 setup, partly to ensure he stays at the football club. Club sources stressed that Gabriel would not have been promoted if he didn't have the quality, and pointed out his 2 goals vindicated that call. So United gambled on bringing a 14-year-old into the under-18s. Vindicated, yes. On off the bench, scores 2 goals in 5 minutes. Yep, it's great. Fantastic talent as well. And he looked good in that game. He really did. United did win the game 13-1 and Leeds were crap. But he's 14 in an under-18s team. And United fast-tracked him because they thought his eyes were going to start going elsewhere. Now, United have been all over this out of Arsenal's academy. Players not getting what they wanted. And having to manage players and manage game time. And all these younger players are looking at the fast track option. They all want to be there quicker than is necessary. But that's the game now. Everybody's getting in a lot younger. You look at what Manchester United are going for in the transfer window, it makes sense to me that United have made this decision. You could argue the fact that you brought a 14-year-old into an age group that's miles ahead of him, but he's held his own. And luckily for United, this kid has got a taste for it now. And we can actually say that he is now actually an under-18s player. And he will probably feature more for Manchester United's under-18s from now until the end of the season. But there alone tells me exactly where Manchester United are at. And that report is vital, I think, as well. And we can't forget little things like this and what United are building behind the scenes. Because there was a lot of talk that JJ was actually going to leave United. And he's been at the club a long time, let's not forget. And I feel like now he feels he should be getting a little bit more of the action for the performances he has been at his own age group. And somebody else would have taken him. Somebody else would have definitely taken him. And United had to make the call. And thankfully, hopefully as well, we do get a new contract signed for him. And he's at the club for a long, long time. And he does turn out to be that prospect that he really does look right now. But it's a long way down the line. But players like JJ could be the players that roll up at the new stadium, 100,000-seater stadium. This is the whole plan for Manchester United, making the future look brighter for United to attract some of the best young talent around. And people will want a piece of this. Agents will want a piece of this as well. And that's what we will be looking at going into the future. And I think we will get and be able to get these younger players. Ruben talked about bringing in 17-year-olds that are out of contract to other academies in his press conference. He's well aware of what's going on behind the scenes at Manchester United. And again, that just makes me think like what we just talked about there, about 22-year-old Liam Delap coming into United instead of an Osimhen experienced striker. It says where United are, and it looks to me like they're going to be brave enough to make this call. And brave enough to actually say, look, we're going to trust in a 22-year-old coming in and leading the line for Man United, backed up by a 22-year-old, backed up by an 18-year-old next season in Chido. It's not very old or experienced. And again, I said it the other day, Mason Mount is the most experienced player in Manchester United's forward line right now. And he's hardly started a game. It's crazy where we're at, but look, I think we're going to end up having to trust this system. The days of bringing in the old players that have passed it, that could come in and do a job for us for a certain amount of time, they've called it already. It's not going to happen. I think we are going to have to accept what Ineos's plan is going into this transfer window, because Ruben Amorim's part of it. And we have to back our manager off. And we will be judging Ruben probably a lot more next season. But this is going to be one of the youngest sides, I think, in the Premier League next year going forward. Even the players that we're looking at to bring in key positions, like we brought a 20-year-old in at left wing back. The chances are Manchester United will be going in for maybe an Assad Diao or a Roger Fernandez at right wing back. 20 at the oldest there. Diao is another teenager. And then you got Evan, 18. You got Yoro, 19. He could be bringing Kone through. Chido could be getting more game time as well. Teenagers all over the park. And let's not forget, we do have Amad Diallo at 22. We have Kobe Mainu at 19. We have Garnacho at 20 as well. Yeah, maybe someone in the mid-20s would be nice. Like, just to balance it a little bit. You know, bit of a blend. It's a risky game that United are actually playing. But one that they trust in. And I think they believe in. So, let's just see. I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do, and I do believe we need to mix up like a lot of other people, bringing in a few more experienced players as well as some younger talent coming through. But I have still got, like I've said this all along, we need to be backing Ruben Amorim, and if he wants this, then we go with this. And that, I feel, is what United fans are going to be accepting next season. Look, I just hope that all of the noises around Osimhen are true and he does end up coming in, because I think he is one that will make a massive difference for Manchester United. I do believe that United will actually have a real player on their hands if he comes in. And I hope it is the case. I do. But yeah, just to back up everything that we've been talking about so far on the show, if you have just joined us, Manchester United have got the green light from Matheus Cunha from Wolves. He is happy to move to Manchester United, even with Forest in for him and deep into negotiations. Cunha and the people around him, according to Ben Jacobs, would prefer a move to a Big Six side, and that includes United. European football, or lack of it, is not an issue for Cunha. The other side of it is Liam Delap is now United's number one striker target ahead of Sesko, Gyökeres, Osimhen. United actually, apparently, according to Mark Ogden of ESPN, see Liam Delap as the answer to their goal-scoring issue ahead of them three other strikers. Which is crazy, isn't it? It really is. Antony, right now, is a wanted man. Betis are all on him, and they are going to do everything they possibly can, according to the vice president of Betis this summer, to keep him at Real Betis. I have said, and I do believe, there is another loan in the offer for Antony, because United will make more money off him next season, but it only works if United get an obligation on that loan. Just something that I've thought about. Nothing has been said about the loan. I just think that's the angle, because Betis cannot afford him. It's as simple. They cannot afford him right now. And I feel they are going to push for the loan. United are open to selling Garnacho. Osimhen is an option, and they have got no issue at all in using Garnacho as a swap. That's another report from the Daily Mail today as well. And United have fast-tracked JJ Gabriel to stop him moving away from the football club. If you're wondering who that is, that's the young 14-year-old who came off the bench and scored 2 for the under-18s. Yes, the under-18s the other day against Leeds in a 13-1 win. But that, I feel, Delap, JJ, the other players we're talking about, all younger players. I have personally been told as well that don't think that Tyler Diblin is off the table either. In any of this. Tyler Diblin is a real target for Manchester United, and in fact, concrete talks have been had over the last couple of weeks, driven by Jason Wilcox, Manchester United's technical director at the football club. That is genuine as well. Still, all options open for United, but Diblin has moved forward because Southampton are relegated, and now you can start negotiating and bidding over a championship player, because that is what he is. And apparently, the 100 million thing, completely wide of the mark. But yeah, That's it on Tyler Dibbling anyway. Henry says, we need to get these under-21s in a more competitive league to improve them. Any suggestions, Adam? If there isn't any, mate, loan them all out, mate, is what I say. Loan them all out. And it isn't the under-21s, it's the under-18s that we're looking at right now as well. But they're the better players. Apart from your likes of Kone, who have just gone above that under-18s age now, obviously turning 19 now, Sekou Kone. I think we'll see him next season. I really do think that he could be an option for United. I actually think, going off what we're listening to, going off United's list of transfers, like the Liam Delap, like the Tyler Dibblings, the players that we're bidding on, the Diego Leon that's coming into Manchester United, teenager, 20-year-old, all of these younger players, I actually feel like United are looking at Sekou Kone as an option next season for United. I think they look at him and go, there's another holding midfielder that we need. And he is good. He is very, very good. And if we are looking to build up with younger players, he could be an option. That's all I'm saying. And I would definitely not count it out that Kone features and is seen as a player coming into the first team squad for next season. Leon Football says, I think Cunha is 26 though. I really want to sign Mora from Porto, only 17, but the real deal. Last season we took Agate of PSG so they can buy Neves. Now they want rid of Kang In to get Mora because they've got a structure in place, mate, and that's the problem. United are kind of the whipping boy at the moment because we're trying to catch up. Teams that have got these structures that have been in place for a long time are in a better position than us right now, and that's our transfer reality, ultimately. And I think maybe United are having to maybe lick the wounds, accept defeat, and just say, right, we are fully committed to this rebuild, and it's going to be in stages. And these are the players we want to work around. We want players that can be taught into this system that Ruben wants. All of the blame is going to go down on Ineos. I'm going to go down on the ownership model of Manchester United this summer if we get these sorts of players in. And I can see it coming. And I don't think it's necessarily fair because I think Ruben Amorim wants some of this as well. And I'm fully backing our manager. I want whatever Ruben Amorim wants because I want to be able to judge him properly next season. And he is happy with this. Then let's see what he can do with these players and how he takes Manchester United forward. But that pretty much is everything. 52 minutes worth of all the Manchester United updates from today, from morning to this evening. I will be back at 8 o'clock first thing in the morning, everybody, as well. So make sure that you are fully tuned in. And yeah, let's go on and just look ahead and not be too negative, I say. Block quickly says, Adam, how can you talk for 50 minutes without constantly repeating yourself, unlike the other guy? Great work, mate. That's the comment of the night. Thank you very much, Block. You absolute legend. Love that. And on that note, we'll finish there by thanking all of the mods in the chat. Thanking everybody for being absolutely brilliant and legends. Some absolutely bang on the money comments in there tonight, everybody. Some players that I have seen and not thought of or brought up in these shows as well. You all make some fantastic points. I love my community here on Forever United TV. You are some very, very knowledgeable football people. That's all I will say. And I thank you again. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for all the likes as well. We did pass over the 200 mark again, which is great, everyone. Thank you. And I will be back at 8 o'clock tomorrow. We go on. And it stays positive, I promise you. It does, all leading up to that Lyon game. I didn't even mention what Anana was talking about the Lyon game. I'll save that for another one anyway. But that is us all done. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Let's have it.